my camera working now for you?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yeah, it broke something. Okay, there we go. Now we're recording. Everybody, just let everybody know, to avoid legal snags, we are recording. Okay, thank you, Skype. And in 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the History of Bad Ideas, episode number 364. I'm Jason.
I'm Jeff.
Blake.
And I'm the intern.
And we don't have Jim this week, but I'm going to have to say we upped the game because we got Director to the Stars. Jason C. Brown is back.
Yay!
Thanks for having me, guys.
Great. And renowned Hollywood softball player.
That's right.
And you know what, Jason? It's been over a year since we talked.
That is crazy.
I know. We were supposed to get in touch with him for the second half of this 2019 season of Drunk History, but something happened. I don't know. What happened?
COVID. It's called COVID.
That's it. Sadly.
Yeah, it's rather disappointing, but we like talking to JCB. Glad he's back.
Yeah.
You know, his IMDb resume keeps getting longer and longer.
That's true. Even that's with a 6-month hiatus from any work.
Well, I did enjoy your Audi commercial work as second director on the commercial reenactments where the Amelia Clark goes into Audi and buys food for her husband.
Audi.
Yeah. And when he says Audi, he means Aldi.
I know that there's a mispronunciation topic in here somewhere.
That's a weekly bullet point for us.
Yeah. So when did you start your commercial success?
No commercial success.
What?
Very little commercial success. I don't do very many commercials. It's never been my thing, even when I first moved out here.
Well, when I saw the Audi commercial, I said, man, that's got JCB written all over it. You mean they've been stealing your idea as a second director?
Exactly.
And the reenactments?
Exactly.
Oh, well. Can you send me the Daenerys Targaryen wig anyway?
So, the Auto Trader commercials that are on right now that have like the ancient Greek ones, and then there's like the aristocrat ones.
Yes,
those are actually directed by Derek Waters from Drunk History. Auto Trader brought him in to direct those commercials
just for the history part.
Yep. So exactly. So it's like there's like the woolly mammoth, like the reindeer sleighs or something like that, like all those, and like the odds and stuff. Like that's all Derek.
Yeah, and the guy that needs a new cart because his wheels were square or something, he needed an upgrade.
Yep.
But you know, Derek is unfortunately available, and I was really saddened to see.
I know.
You know, other than the fact that Jason forgot to bring you back for the second half of 2019 Drunk History series back onto the podcast so we can talk to you about it. But that's okay. But I did see where Drunk History has run its course, and I'm wondering if COVID basically expedited that, unfortunately.
The sad thing for me was that we were locked and loaded. We were ready to go, and we got shut down on Thursday, and Monday was supposed to be our first day of filming on season 7. So it came right on the precipice. I mean, we were completely prepped. We were locked and loaded. We were ready to go into production, and then we all got sent home.
So for listeners that are new to the show, Jason C. Brown has been on several times.
Yeah.
He's done a lot of great stuff. He's directed Imaginary Friends.
Yep.
Short. Yep. You were on Avatar. You were an alien. You also worked behind the scenes.
Yep.
Drunk History.
Yep.
And there's many more things that we're going to talk about. You were on the pilot episode of Speechless.
Yeah.
You worked on that.
Amazing show.
And Drunk History was what we talked about last time you were on, which I wanted you back, and Blake told me no. Blake actually said no.
You lie.
But the
Don't
kebab
have
shop.
ya. He's like, Jason's mine. You can't have him. And I said, it's okay, fine. We just want him on the podcast. And so that was Blake's fault. So you're out, and I do want to ask you one thing. I see the newest thing that you worked on, a very special G4 holiday reunion.
I did just work on that. That's amazing. Yes, I did just work on that. That was, well, first of all, that's shooting in the time of COVID.
Mm-hmm.
So that brought a whole new challenge. And I got a call and it said, hey, we've got a reunion show kind of in the style of a What Happens Next kind of Real Housewives style. And there's going to be, and they mentioned, they were like, we're going to try and keep the crew small, but the cast is considerable. It's like an 8-person cast. One narrator and then all the people who were brought back. And they said, how do you think we can do this? And it became the biggest, most open place possible up here in California, up in Malibu. There's a place called Calamigos Ranch. And if you see the room that shot in, it's the one long Thanksgiving type table.
Mm-hmm.
And that room that we shot in is actually the room where they do wedding receptions.
Okay.
Really popular spot weddings in LA. I've actually been to a wedding there myself, and their giant lodge that they do wedding receptions in is where they did that. And we were able to keep things ventilated, masks at all times, face shields when the actors showed up. We had zones to keep everybody safe, and it was pretty amazing. It really kind of went off without a hitch, and it was really fun because seeing these guys come together after having not seen each other and share these stories and see how they influenced each other was really amazing to watch. It was a lot of fun.
So I was a huge G4 fan back in the day. Loved it. Morgan Webb.
Me too.
Morgan.
I remember watching that.
It was amazing. Yeah.
So when I saw that, because G4 is coming back, it's a video game channel. It's coming back. Did they ever announce how it's coming back? Is it online only?
They don't know yet. They may know, but they didn't announce anything. All we were privy to was we're coming back.
Gotcha.
But I'm pretty excited to see what they come up with what the iteration is, and how many people were involved in the reunion special was great, because even we had the main 8, but even the other hosts of other shows were doing small bits with it as well. It was pretty awesome.
So you said, I think before we came on, have you besides G4, have you worked a lot on set, or is there not much there right now that's being?
No, the town's pretty busy right now. Basically, the unions and the producers came together and made an agreement. The unions, in a kind of unprecedented way, came together and put out a document called the Safe Way Forward, which was established the zones and established a HSS, a health safety supervisor position, to be on sets and be in charge of having hand sanitizer and coning off places and establishing where the zones would be. And then they basically went to the studios with that document, and then they negotiated a new document that would be applicable to all sets. So since that document came out, people kind of then had a roadmap about how we can safely go about coming back. So I was able to do the G4 special. I did a commercial for like Beats or JBL headphones. Mm-hmm. And again, that was a shoot where normally you just go to a stage, one actor standing in front of a green screen. And in any normal situation, it'd be like, go set stage, piece of cake. Well, they didn't want to do that because of the risk of shooting indoors. So we shot basically at a parking lot on the beach, which had as much airflow as you could possibly imagine. And it was an enormous parking lot, so everything was spaced out. Mm-hmm. So trying to, put into place. And then the last thing that I just wrapped this past week an episode of NCIS Los Angeles, which airs Sundays on CBS. So that that's based out of Paramount Studios. And I just finished an episode with them.
Do you have to get a COVID test every time you go there?
I was tested. So I'm or the orange zone on that show, which means I am in close proximity. The only people who are ever allowed to have their masks off are actors. And they are the indispensable piece of the puzzle. You can do anything, but if you don't have the actor, you've got nothing. So zone A, that means you're in close proximity with someone who takes their mask off, an actor. So because of that, Monday, Wednesday, and then I prepped before the Thanksgiving holiday and came back after. And this is a show that took off the entire week of Thanksgiving. So then coming back out of Thanksgiving, I was tested the Saturday after Thanksgiving, the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday week, and then the following Monday, Tuesday. So it was getting tested 4 to 5 times a week.
Jeez.
Yeah. Yeah. That was the crux of people going back, was getting tested and making sure that people were being safe.
Intern, I think you and I could actually be the HSS supervisor. I think you and I could do that on the set.
I have no problem doing it at the grocery store now. So.
And he has lots of hand sanitizer.
Yeah. I've heard stories of HSSs who literally carry around a 3-foot stick and make sure that people they walk around saying this visualize what it means to keep 6 feet of distance from people, that kind of stuff. So
I have
did you say cattle prods? They've got cattle prods?
It feels that way.
3-foot cattle prods?
That might be a good
Brian, I want
adapt
you to
and survive.
Brian, I want you to go to the grocery store this weekend and go, you're in zone A, get the hell away. You're in zone B. Just start telling the customers they're in different zones. Yeah. You're over there, get out.
Just start hitting people with a broom.
Swiffers.
That goes over the nose, people.
Keep it Cincinnati.
That's right. So this is going to be different because Jason is actually going to sit with us this week.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah. So what about Bruise Brothers you're working on? What's that about?
Bruise Brothers was a crazy project. Netflix, kind of wild on my part anyway. It was a company that I'd worked for in the past. And I was working on something else. And actually, my dad was in town. This film last July. My dad came out for a visit. He was here for like 10 days. We had an awesome time. And then during that time, I got a call from this company that said, hey, we're in the middle of shooting this TV show called Bruise Brothers, and our first AD has just gotten this amazing opportunity to do an enormous job in Atlanta or something like that. So he's leaving the show. We need someone to come in and basically finish out. So I don't even know what the schedule was. It was maybe like a 5-week show, and I did the last maybe like 2.5 weeks. Maybe it was a 6-week show, and I did the last 2.5 weeks. So I came in for the finish to just finish it up. And it was a great experience. It was Jeff Schaefer was the showrunner on that, and Greg Schaefer's brother. And Jeff is, I believe, the showrunner for Curb Your Enthusiasm. And it was a young, really fun cast, and Flula Borg's in it, who's amazing, who I worked with on a pilot long time ago, and really fun, free show. A lot of fun to work on.
And I was looking at that because Alan Eisenberg is in it, is one of the main actors. Yeah. And I saw the face, and I was like, I know him from something. And it was Orange is the New Black. Yes. Is what I recognize him from.
Yeah.
So he was one of the prison guards. Prison guards. Yeah.
Yeah. So, great guy. Very talented. He's going places for sure.
He was good in Orange is the New Black. And then he was in Bull, but we won't talk about Bull. Anyway. Real quick, does Kevin James, when you talk to him every week, because you go out to coffee with him every week, does he still hate Hobie?
Now hold on. JCB said as a condition of coming on this podcast, he wasn't going to answer any Kevin James questions. I don't want the Directors Guild coming after us.
Ryan is a huge fan of Kevin James. He's the one. And so he just wants to know if he still hates Hobie. I mean,
someday I will find that I will be working with him and I will wear the shirt and there will be photos taken. It will happen. It will happen.
I've reached out to his people. I reached out with the Olive Ranch. He burned it. He said, "Screw that guy." Yeah. And I was like, "Dude, I just want the Zookeeper too. Just calm down. That's all I'm asking for. Okay, calm down." Brian, I'm here for you. I'm here for you.
No, you're not.
I told you I'm taking the high road this week.
And that's lasted 20 minutes.
15 minutes and 23 seconds. So, oh my goodness. And Jason, if you want to promote anything else, you just drop it in wherever you want this week. Doesn't matter. I do want to thank you because of you working. We asked you last time to try to delay Avatar sequels. So we do appreciate you delaying them. So that was good.
Thanks for sabotaging that. That's awesome.
There you go.
How do I sabotage them? Let's put a virus out there. Let's do it.
The long play.
That's right.
Hey, actually, since we're asking JCB for favors, can you ask Sugarland Baird why she doesn't respond to any of my texts?
Oh, I love Sugarland. She's wonderful. She was in such a good episode of Drunk History too.
I got this notice from the Los Angeles Police Department. I don't know what that's about.
It's funny that the episode that she was in, which was about the Marriage Equality Act, a guy that I work with just sent me a photo of his daughter, who's a senior in high school, doing a report on that subject with the Drunk History episode in the background.
That's awesome.
That was his copy. You won't believe it. My daughter is doing her homework with Drunk History. So.
Because it is a reliable source of historical fact.
They always thrive for that. That was one thing that I was always so impressed with, was that they did their research.
Yes, and alcohol.
I'm just going to. Did you guys drink? The behind the scenes people drink on the show, allegedly?
No, they definitely keep it on the up and up. It's just those two drunk people.
So for people that are listening for the first time with JCB on, you're directing the reenactments with the actors, right? So you didn't get the fun part of getting drunk with people on the stories. I mean, that's Derek. He pawned all the hard work off on you.
I get to watch the fruits of all that labor.
I'm just going to tell my 10-year-old just for history class, just watch Drunk History, son. It's fine. Just watch that. He didn't know what an encyclopedia set was. And he's like, why would you buy that? I'm like, we didn't have internet.
Yeah. Well, we did. Try the Dewey Decimal System. Try explaining that to someone.
God.
This is how you find a library book.
My wife worked at the library recently, and for one of her tests to get hired at the library was doing the Dewey Decimal System and that.
Really?
And it's like, why are we doing this still?
Well, you still have to know where to find the books. They still categorize them and shelve them by the system.
It's a horrible system, Jeff.
Horrible. It's to group books and subject matter together. I mean, how else would you do it?
You know what? It doesn't work because my 4-year-old goes in there and he just takes books and throws them everywhere. So it doesn't matter. Puts them in different locations. He doesn't throw them. So it's no way accurate. No way.
So you're just downplaying all the hard work the librarians do to keep the thing in order and to restock books in the proper places.
Yeah.
I mean, your wife did that, and now you're just telling her that her job was pointless and worthless.
She's got a better job. She's fine.
Well, yeah, but still, you just said that what she was doing wasn't even worth doing.
I'm just going to shut it. Never mind.
The sad part is she won't ever hear this because she don't listen to the show.
That's right. Because I run the house, Jeff. I run the house.
You run the basement.
I don't even run that, Brian. I don't even run
You're
that.
allowed to run the
Everything
basement.
inside the studio door you run.
Yeah. Well, maybe she
Well.
told me where to. She told me where to hang the pictures in the Bob Studios here. So
That's nice. They look good.
yeah. I got Clue. We got some other things here. Let me show you.
See.
Oh,
Having Control of Me, Frankenstein is a classic.
yeah.
I'm ahead.
We got. We also have a what do you call it, air conditioning vent, and Jeff bought it, and it has a dragon coming out of it. So that's
But it's on the other side of the computer, so
yeah, I don't feel like moving it. Jeff, you'll see it. You'll see your dragon again in maybe 8 months. Maybe 8 months.
Hey, the vaccines have been delivered. I
Yeah,
saw it on the news.
thank God. So
First round.
we can actually get back into this Bob Studios again. We've had you guys have been out of this studio more than you've been in this studio since I built it.
Wow.
Oh God, yeah.
So
Great.
yeah. Let's see here. What else? Real quick, we'll go around the room. Jeff, did you watch anything this week?
I watched Titans season 1,
Oh, the DC one.
DC one.
How was that?
In my opinion, it is the best adaptation of a DC television show that they've put out. Now, I haven't watched Doom Patrol or Stargirl yet.
Mm-hmm.
I'll watch those when I'm done with Titans, but I think it's better than anything that was in the Arrowverse or any of that stuff.
Better than Black Lightning?
Yes. Hell, it's better than the DCEU movies. So,
Oh,
Well, that's not saying
I
much,
could
but
see
okay.
no.
You know what? Zack Snyder had a director's cut of whatever Justice League. Jason, do you have a director's cut of Imaginary Friends that's 6 hours long? It was
Here-
short.
We didn't have enough time to shoot that much in our limited schedule. There are a couple moments that hit the cutting room floor, though. So I think it's that way for everybody, where it's those little things where it's like, oh, I'd love this to stay in, but it just doesn't flow and doesn't work. So there's always that. There's always those.
So they'll be on the DVD extras.
Yeah, with the commentary and all that. That's how because that's how you make the real money.
Talk to HBO Max. I'm
Yep.
sure they're looking for things.
Everyone's looking for content, guys.
That's right.
Everyone's looking for content.
That's right. Let's see. Brian, what did you watch this week? Anything?
We started a couple Showtime shows. We started Your Honor with Bryan Cranston.
Mm-hmm.
Just the very first episode. It was really good. Look, kind of intrigued to see where they go with it, but and then we started watching The Good Lord Bird, The Good Lord Bird with Ethan Hawke.
What is that on?
He
Hawk,
plays-
Bird, I get it.
He plays the abolitionist John Brown.
Oh, okay.
It is awesome.
Ethan Hawke is
It's
one of
on
my
Showtime.
Did you see this, Jason?
I have not yet, but they've got billboards for it around town, so that one's high on my list to catch.
Is that a
It
movie or a
is.
TV show?
It's a miniseries
Miniseries. Okay.
on Showtime. I think it's 7 episodes, and we're about to start 5. So we've seen the first 4. It's really good.
Jason, you're the Hollywood insider here. Help us out. Do you think that Hollywood is going more towards miniseries and condensed for series more than the
Yeah.
long ones?
Yeah, I mean, the days of a 22 episode season just aren't here anymore. I mean, I think This Is Us is the only
Mm-hmm.
real must-see TV 22 episode show these days, and even they cut back to I think 17 or something like that. And the writer came out and said, we can give you 22 that are pretty good, or we can give you 17 that are great.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a kind of a more bang for your buck theory in that, it even kind of started in like the TNT model of the world. Like TNT and TBS were doing these short runs, and ABC Family was doing these short runs, and now everyone's just embraced it. So yeah, it's kind of like get in and get out while you can, because people are so fickle.
And we've talked about on the show, like I'm a huge, I love superheroes, obviously most of us do on the show, but like The Flash, like you watch that and it was like the first couple seasons, like, yeah, this is a really fun show, but like you could cut off 5 episodes and you'll be perfectly fine. Like it
probably wouldn't miss much.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
that's what, and then you see, like, especially now, I don't know if it's because COVID and that, but it does seem like there's a lot shorter runs on it.
Yeah,
So.
I think that trend is here for a bit.
Yeah, like Riverdale. You can cut out like 90% of it,
Yeah.
and it would still be.
How many seasons are there of Riverdale?
There's 5 seasons, okay, coming up. Okay, you shut your whore mouth, okay?
I
I love
probably
Riverdale.
Whoever
caught all
said
4.5.
let's do a live action, whoever said let's do a live action Archie and Jughead is genius. That is so outside the box to say yes, this works. So
I didn't mind the idea, and I actually started watching it, and I got through like the first 8 episodes, but then they stopped. They stopped paying attention to the main storyline and just started doing all the stupid side things that were terrible.
They're teasing zombies this season. I mean, what else do you need? Come on, let's do it. Let's do it. Hey, I'm just impressed high school teenagers can figure out shower sex that easily. I mean, in the first season, they were just like, hey, we got it.
You're impressed that teenagers can figure out sex?
No, shower sex.
Any type of sex. Come on. Experimentaling?
My favorite kind.
But since they did go with a live action Archie and Jughead and crew, when maybe we can get JCB on the live action Bazooka Joe.
Oh.
Can anyone name a single character outside of Bazooka Joe on that?
The guy with the mask up. The mask.
What's his name?
Mask guy.
Isn't that Bazooka Joe?
Turtleneck Kid.
Now I'm going to look up Bazooka Joe characters.
They've actually
like
modernized a number of the characters. They've actually gone through and modernized and updated it and made it more inclusive for everybody.
Mort is the guy with the turtleneck.
Yeah, that guy.
Mort.
He'd be a star in COVID-19 Hollywood. Come on. Hungry
Herman, Joe's tubby pal. Jane is Joe's girlfriend, and Tuffy, a streetwise type who wears a sailor hat. You are not tough with that. No offense, Blake.
Tuffy.
Of course he's tough. It's in his name.
His name is Tuffy.
This is how you do it, Jason. I don't know if you know this, but if you say trademark, you own the rights to this. So if you want to do that,
there you go.
Go ahead. Blake, what have you watched?
I've been too busy. I haven't been able to watch any shows. I'm still recovering from the Browns loss last night.
But that was a good game, though.
Yeah,
it was. I for a moment there, I thought we were going to be same old Browns. And then they surprised me, and we came back. And once we took the lead again, I'm like, a minute is too long.
Yeah.
And I was right. And Jackson comes out like out of a storybook, Hollywood movie, from the locker room, comes out 4th and 5. And it's not that he made a great play. It's more of the Browns defenders both left the tight end unguarded. They both left their man. And I was like, oh, man, that's the only way it can happen. But it was good. Yeah, you're right. We still should have won. I mean, Cody Parkey, used to kill Bears. Now they're killing Browns fans. Now he's killing Browns fans.
Jason, are you a Browns fan?
No, Chiefs.
That's right. That's right.
Born in
Kansas City.
So, but I still follow the Bengals because a lot of the formative years were good Bengals years. and Marvin Lewis and stuff like that. Like those years were, I have a soft spot in my heart. One of my first jobs in the business was I worked for NFL on CBS.
Mm-hmm.
So Cincinnati, Ohio was the perfect place to do that because from Cincinnati, even though we never like worked with the Bengals, Cincinnati was the middle point because we could go to Indy, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, and Tennessee, all based out of Cincinnati. So like one dude in Cincinnati had that whole region. So we used to go with him and do all the like, Marcus Allen interviewing Peyton Manning, stuff like that. So, and then eventually when the Bengals got good, we would actually stay home and do the Bengals.
The Bengals do look very close to the Kansas City Chiefs. This year. This year they look pretty on par, same teams.
I will say Joe Burrow looks good. He looks really good. So I don't think
when his leg is in one piece.
When his leg is in one piece, yes. Yes.
Yeah, he's the real deal. Unfortunately, he's on the wrong team, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, he needs a lot of parts around him.
Somewhere down there.
Their first 5 draft picks next year will just be an offensive line.
I hope so.
Dear God, I hope. Blake, you simmer down with your 27 quarterbacks in like 6 years, okay? You just calm down, okay?
You guys complained about Andy Dalton. I would have killed for Andy Dalton's stability in Cleveland.
I never complained about Andy.
And all around nice guy as well, Andy Dalton.
That's right. Andy, good guy.
Yeah.
Good old Andy Dalton. Jason, have you watched anything this week?
Well, Blake kind of stole my answer because I was saying I've kind of been watching sports a little bit these days. The only thing that I've watched, and this is not even a new show, and I don't know if anybody would even know it. It's a show. It's an Australian show. I have a good friend from Australia named Andrew Shepard, who he's out of New Orleans now, and he's talked to me about this show forever. It's called Summer Heights High.
No, I don't know that.
Yeah, there you go. So that was my reaction as well.
Okay. Where does one watch this show?
It's on YouTube. It's on YouTube. Summer Heights High, and there, my buddy Andrew knows it. I know it through him because he quotes it all the time. And it's one of those you just kind of have to watch it. It's one guy who plays 3 parts in the school. It's a high school. And he plays the drama teacher. He plays like a kind of roughneck, kind of bully, kind of kid in the school, and he also plays a female exchange student. He plays all 3 parts. It is, God, I'm not doing it justice, but it is.
That's a lot of range.
It's crazy. It's a crazy show. Australian accents galore. Yeah, that's what I watched.
Shrimp on the Bobby.
That's what I watched this week.
It's gotten great reviews on online.
It was fun. There's definitely some irreverent stuff that, it's so cliche to say you can't get away with that today, but there's definitely some lines in there that you look at and think, wow.
Well, Australians do have an advanced sense of humor. So
it's good. It's sketch and it's fun, and yeah. Summer Heights High. That's what I watched this week.
It was.
When was that originally on?
2007.
Okay, so it's not that old.
But there's a second season of Jaime, private school girl, that's continued in 2013 for one season.
There you go. She is definitely she is definitely the star of the show. She's got all the good ones.
It takes place 6 years later. In real life, and she's making the most of her final 3 months of high school.
That tracks.
A lot of people go to high school for 7 years.
They're called doctors, Jeff. Oh no, that's college.
Yeah. Oh, I love Chris Farley.
The only thing I watched Bombshell about the Fox News sexual harassment of Roger Ailes.
Jay Roach directed that one?
Yeah, did he? I think he did.
I think so.
I'm going with you. Yes, I'm going with you. It was good. The actresses looked the part. Like I couldn't believe it. That was Megyn Kelly. you know, part of me was like,
Yeah, well, Charlize Theron, Megyn
Yeah.
Kelly, Charlize
I mean-
Theron, Megyn Kelly.
and it was decent. I liked it. I think time constraints hurt it because I think if you put it around for a mini series, I think you could have done a lot more to it. I didn't even realize that was John Lithgow was in it. I was like,
Yeah.
oh my god, like. But I mean, I'm glad I saw it. I mean, I did like the 1 2-minute scene they had with Geraldo. He had his sunglasses on in the newsroom still. But yeah, I enjoyed it enough. My wife and I liked it enough. I just wish it was a little bit longer.
Who'd Lithgow play?
Roger
Ailes.
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 Oh, Roger. I was gonna say O'Reilly. Oh.
No, not O'Reilly.
Uh,
Bill-
Jay's career is really interesting because he directed Bombshell. He directed, if you haven't seen it, an amazing movie for HBO called All the Way, which is about LBJ getting the Civil Rights Act passed after Kennedy dies. And LBJ is played by Cranston. And it's based on the stage play that Cranston did on Broadway. It's an unbelievable movie. And the supporting cast for that, just like this one's amazing, where it's Bradley Whitford played as Herbert Hoover and Stephen Root is in it. It's an amazing movie. I got really lucky and got a chance to work on it for a little bit. But Jay is amazing because Jay is the same director who did the Austin Powers movies.
Yes.
And he
Yes.
did Mystery Alaska, which is a very underrated movie. Not my top 5, but deserves maybe some honorable mention because Mystery Alaska is such a gem.
No,
But
I
again,
see you in my top 5 now.
That is a favorite of this of most people on this podcast, I would say. Anyway, we love Mystery Alaska.
So
I
that's
love
how
it
he
so
got.
much.
That's how he got Mike Myers to do a cameo, huh?
Exactly. So anyway, his trajectory, and he's a sweet man. And Jay is married to Susanna Hoffs from the
Wow.
yeah. How about that? So that's your Bombshell update.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, that's awesome. And I'm glad you brought up Mystery Alaska because that just added to my top 5 now.
It's such a good movie. It really is. It's so good.
Yeah, and it's good because they lost.
Yeah.
Spoiler for a
Oh.
10-year-old movie.
No, that is so. It's amazing.
And it actually was back when Russell Crowe cared. I mean, it's real.
Russell Crowe, Burt Reynolds is so good.
Right.
Burt Reynolds, and nothing will be better than the scene where Little Richard sings the next one, and then
And
does
then
the Canadian. It is. And apparently that really happened in real life somewhere, someone. Like, that was taken from a real life story.
Oh my God. We got a favor to ask you. And he started saying
It's so good. Like,
it is.
That is such a good cast.
Yeah.
Hank Azaria.
Hank Azaria, yeah.
Oh, is that
That-
Azaria?
That's Middleford from Daily Show.
Yeah.
I forgot Hank Azaria was in it. He was the boyfriend. That's right. Of
Yeah,
the
he's the guy that brought the Rangers to town. Come on.
Yeah.
That's right.
That is such a good movie.
You know what? Forget the podcast. We're just going to go watch that now. Forget it. Everyone, we're done.
Everyone go watch Mystery Alaska. And
Yes, everyone
Like
go
it's
watch
next
Mystery Alaska.
Let's see here. Brian?
Speaking of Little Richard,
Yeah.
I bet he knows how to pronounce Hanukkah.
What happened?
You didn't see that?
Uh-uh.
Like, so it's not in nothing to do with Little Richard, but somebody paid Smokey Robinson to do a cameo for them,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like the lady that they were doing it for grew up across the street from him. So like her son reached out to him and was like, "Hey, it'd be cool for my mom for Hanukkah." So he records it, and he pronounces Hanukkah Chanukah. He's like, I don't really know what Chanukah is. He says it 3 times.
There you go.
Like throughout the video. I'll tweet it to you because I ran across it like a couple days ago, and it's like he's laughing because he has no idea like what it is. It's like I don't know
because
what
they
this
spelled it
Chanukah
with a
thing is,
C.
but it.
So
So it's like what Jason would do if he was cameoing.
Right. Yeah, exactly what I would expect if I got a cameo from Jason.
I just want to let you know, Hobie has a Cameo page now because after I found out Kevin from The Office makes $1 million a year on Cameo,
Yeah.
yeah, $1 million a year on Cameo.
And he's like the 5th cheapest person. He charges like $130 or $150.
That
He
guy's
made
getting
$1 million last
that guy's
year.
getting quantity, not quality.
Yeah.
That guy's if 130 for $1 million out of 130. That guy's working for his money. It's
Yes,
not
yeah.
as big then.
But everyone says he
Like,
does a great
today.
job too.
Yeah,
Everyone's
but-
thrilled with
But
what he
how
does.
many minutes long does your cameo have to be? Is it like limited to 30 seconds?
I think you can buy like additional
Yeah.
you can pretty much pay for as long as you want it to be, but most
Oh,
of them
there
are
you go.
like 30 seconds to a minute.
So he charges $195.
Oh, so
This probably went up.
He has a
Yeah.
1,900 reviews and with a perfect 5-star rating.
Wow.
He can get a video to you within 24 hours according to his profile.
Wow.
That's pretty wild.
Well, I mean, especially in the time of COVID.
Yeah.
I mean, he's sitting at home. Oh, here we go. We'll get another $200.
Got access in this day and age. Everybody's one
Yeah.
step.
Hey, I'll tell
Okay.
you what. Is Wallace Shawn on Cameo? Because I would pay just to make that son of a bitch say inconceivable.
I'm sure he is. He has to be.
If you ever see the movie Southland Tales, which is the weirdest movie,
That's The Rock, isn't it?
Yeah, The
The
Rock.
yeah.
That's a weird cast.
It-
And no one knows what that movie's about to this day. No clue. Even the people making it didn't know what it was about.
Those are the best type of movies.
Yeah, it's so weird. Wallace Shawn's in that one too, and at one point he does say "inconceivable" in that movie.
Ah,
Michael Rappaport is one of the top.
Yeah,
So, I was going through it once I read that article. Floyd Mayweather's on there. He charges $1,000 cameo.
Wow.
I mean, he's got a lot of money. You wouldn't think he would even need that.
Carol
Correct.
Baskin has earned $70,000 this year.
That bitch.
That's next level.
Mark McGrath of Sugar Ray charges $24 for a minute.
For a minute. Sweet.
There you go. Good for him.
You know what?
He's holding on to that. He's self-deprecating. I mean, when you name your album 1459,
Yeah.
because you know what 15 minutes of fame means, he's a smart guy.
You know what?
yeah. Was he
And-
hosting
and
something
kick-
on HGTV or something too?
Was he?
He hosts a show on Sirius.
Yeah, or Sirius or TMZ. I can't remember.
He kicked
Is that a
ass
Sirius
on
XM?
Celebrity Rock and Roll Jeopardy.
He was on what?
Snoop.
Celebrity Rock and Roll Jeopardy.
Wow.
Yeah.
He kicked.
You could get
ass.
Snoop for $1,200.
I'd rather have $1,200.
I might just get Mark McGrath just to do a promo for Hobie. That's all I might just do for $24.
Well, at this rate, let's just get Kevin from The Office.
Do you have $200?
$24 we could swing.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll tell Mark. McGrath.
Especially if you do a top 5 about something like 90s music or something, then you can tie in Mark. And then
Ooh.
one-hit wonders of the 90s, top 5 of those. Then Mark could actually give you his top pick too. You could probably get top 5 out of Mark for $24.
Yeah,
Hey,
that's
Mark,
great.
I'll be honest. I only want you for 30 seconds. Can I just give you $12? Can we just? I don't want to go the full 24.
Cameo negotiations.
You can get Danica McKellar for $150.
Really?
That'd be a nice promo.
Caitlyn Jenner charges $2,500 per video, and her average time is 25 seconds.
Ugh.
I'm like,
The water guy from the Firefest documentaries is on here for $75. Yes.
okay, so for $100 we can get him and Mark McGrath. Okay.
This is the
Or we
new
could floor
market.
Mark McGrath.
Nobody wants 4 Mark McGrath. No one wants 4 of him.
See, now there you go. Now there's a good way for people to bribe us for their floppy awards.
Get us a cameo for Mark McGrath.
Cameo.
That's right.
Gary Busey, 350.
You know what? I do have to say that Jason C. Brown is up for the Floppy Canadian of the Year. Congratulations, Jason.
Didn't know my Canadian heritage, but I'm embracing it.
In the history of the Canadian Floppy of the Year, or Canadian of the Year, we've had that. This is our 8th one, I think. Yeah, 8th one. We've had only 3 Canadians win it. So you're going to be fine.
So I got a chance.
Yes. We've had Pittsburgh win it twice. 2 people from Pittsburgh.
Okay.
We had somebody from Toledo, Idaho.
All right.
So it's tough
Come on,
competition.
California.
Why not? So those will be up on December 29th, just for listeners. We have a
Yeah,
slot.
JCB, you don't want to win the Worsley Award.
Nope.
What is that about?
Worsley Award is the person that dies doing the stupidest thing.
Oh, the Darwinish Award. Yes.
It's
Gotcha.
named after this douchebag that walked across Antarctica without a jacket. So
Froze to death.
So now
Okay.
technically, the Worsley Award is, you have to die to win it, and
fair.
you have to die in a dumb way, but it should be a noble reason for your death.
Okay.
Like the
Gotcha.
person it's named after was trying to raise money and draw attention to stuff, and he trekked across Antarctica
without a jacket.
Without a jacket.
Unaided across Antarctica. Jason took that to mean without a jacket. So
I think it is.
That's how I'm picturing it. So.
And then I found out 3 weeks later, after I ripped on this poor guy for 3 weeks, that he had wife, kids, he was in the military. So
And now he lives on through this award. Yeah.
And that's why he hired an intern.
Smart man. Someone's got to research.
Brian, why don't you do the Twitter poll of the week there, buddy?
All right. Our Twitter poll of the week is, what is your favorite Christmas TV special? Your choices were A Charlie Brown Christmas, The Grinch Who Stole Christmas, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and Frosty the Snowman. This was way closer than I thought it was going to be, too. Coming in last at 7% was Frosty the Snowman. Coming in third at 29% was Charlie Brown Christmas. Coming in second, The Grinch Who Stole Christmas with 31%. And at 33%, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
That fucking venison meal. God dang him. Fuck
what are
that.
you talking about? I voted for Rudolph. It's the best of those.
Very
Yeah.
close.
It's got the Island of Misfit Toys. It's got Hermie. It's got Yukon Cornelius. I don't know what more you need in a Christmas.
The Abominable
special.
Snowman.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
It's awful. It's awful. I don't know how Charlie Brown Christmas is not number 1 in there. I mean, it's Charlie Brown Christmas. Come on. I'm not talking
Because
the
not
sequel.
enough people voted for it.
Thanks, Brian. Thanks. You know what? Fuck this. I'm
Mr.
taking it to the
Obvious.
Supreme Court. Taking it to the Supreme Court. We're done. Stop
Take
the
it
steal on this
to
one.
The Supreme Court.
I think Twitter already stopped the count. So
Oh, damn it. Let's see. What's your name? Blake. That's your name. You want to do listener feedback?
Sure. This week's bomb listener feedback brought to you by Democrats who get elected and then win awards just for getting elected.
Down the hall on the political podcast.
Well, he's got a point, though.
Down the hall. Down the hall.
I mean, honestly, anyone named not Donald Trump would have won that award this year.
I'm surprised they're not getting Nobel laureates. Yeah.
Down the hall. We have a political podcast next to the religious podcast. Go
That's
talk down
right.
there.
All right, we as always, JCB, we start with this one guy. His name is
Number 1 fan.
A-Pants.
formerly known as
7.
Big D,
Dad.
Doug. Yeah, since Hobie is on video now, when will Jason C. Brown direct an episode? But you know what? I think we should have you direct a reenactment of one of our episodes.
That would be fun. That would be fun. I think getting you guys drunk and doing the history of Hobie could be, because then you tell how it started and how it came in, and then you got like this cast of characters like Bednar coming in and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then you get real actors to
play. Exactly.
Jeff, I can do my own voices. I can act my own role because I am, an impressionist. So it's fine. I got it.
Yeah, but Jason, the one thing that you don't need is your voice to act these out because they're using someone else's voice.
That's true.
That is. We could
right.
Kevin James could play Brian. I like that. You like him? I'm trying to help you out here.
Yeah. See now next
In a
week we
backhanded way.
should solicit listeners of who would play us
There
in the
you go.
reenactment scene.
Yes, who would play you in the reenactment of the Hobie story?
I like it. I like that.
That could be really fun.
I think we want to put that out there. Who would you act? Okay.
Awesome. Good stuff there, Big D and JCB.
Good content.
Please stop calling my brother Big D. That just doesn't sound right.
Do you mean Dallas?
That's a fun board game.
All right.
Kevin Malone won it.
Oh boy.
All right. Regarding last week's top five, Jason, was worst twist in films, right?
Yeah.
So from Kevin, he's given us 5 Last Christmas, but they don't say what the worst twist was in these. He's just giving us movies with the worst twist or the surprise ending. Number 5 was Last Christmas. 4 was Gone Girl. 3, Now You See Me. 2, Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skulls. And number 1, he hobied it. He had Signs and The Village. Worst plot twists in film, JCB. Sorry, I messed that up.
Double Shyamalan there.
Yes.
You know what? The Kingdom of the Crystal Skulls, it was a shitty film, but I don't think the twist was bad.
Was there a twist?
The aliens, interdimensional beings.
Thank you. Not aliens, interdimensional beings.
I don't think it was that bad of a twist. It was a shitty film, but or plot.
Speaking of Indiana Jones, in our conversation of the newest title, what do you think the new title should be for the new Indiana Jones, Jason?
That's a good question. I was just excited to hear that Harrison is coming back for one last one. Title-wise, man, it's hard to beat Last Crusade, thinking that was the last one that there was ever going to be.
All right,
but,
so here's what we've got.
That's going to be our
so
top
far.
5 for next week. We're going to come up with 5 titles for the next
awesome.
Indiana Jones movies.
Here's what we've come up with so far.
Yep.
Indiana Jones and the Golden Dentures.
Mm-hmm.
Indiana Jones and the Cursed Walker. Indiana Jones hip replacement surgery.
That sounds like a commercial, not a movie.
Indiana Jones and I'm Not Dead Yet. Indiana Jones and the Lost Prostate. Indiana Jones and the Search for Assisted Living.
I think that's my favorite one so far.
Indiana Jones and the Temple of Incontinence.
I have a few more, but I'm saving them for next week.
Next week.
I've been brainstorming
top
these.
5. Do you think Indiana Jones, the next one, is just like a reenactment? Like they're just redoing the live version of Up? I mean, that's all it's got to be, right? I mean, that's all it can be, right? Shia LaBeouf will be on the trail with him. I mean, just come on.
Man.
Does Short Round come back?
Oh, I hope.
I hope.
I hope.
Oh my God. What else you got there, Blake?
Steve from EILFM, Everything I Learned from Movies. He gave us his top 5 of worst plot twists in films. Number 5, Kingdom of the Crystal Skulls. Number 4, The Happening.
Oh,
Number 3, Now You See Me. Number 2, Contact. And number 1, Interstellar.
how dare you? How dare you?
Yeah, Contact. Wasn't that the Amy Adams sci-fi film?
No,
posed
that was The
as
Arrival.
Okay,
That's
no, that was The Arrival. That's
Contact
right.
was Jodie Foster.
Ugh,
You're right there, Blake.
same thing.
15 years apart, but yeah, same thing.
Same thing. All right, next from Pittsburgh Nerd, former Canadian of the Year award winner. Just so you know, JCB, this is the shit you got to send in when you win.
I saw the Pittsburgh part of that.
That's right. He said, outside of Godzilla, who's your favorite monster in the Godzilla universe?
Did they have a toad or frog type monster?
Get out. You don't like Godzilla. We get it, Jeff. Shut the
No,
hell
I'm
up and go
asking
talk
if
about
they
your
had a
fucking
giant
walking
toad.
trees
I
down the
don't know
street.
what monsters they had. I don't want the moth. Maybe the turtle, but I thought there would be a cool toad one.
Go watch your fucking Dune series coming out next year with cacti, walking
There
cacti.
is
Okay?
there is a
Shut the hell up.
Japanese monster movie like Godzilla with a turtle that flies through space, and I think he rescues 2 little Japanese boys that are on it. I'm gonna have to look it up because it's actually okay for a Japanese monster movie.
Is that
Believe
like
it or not.
Gamora or something like that?
There is Gamora.
Gamora's
Yeah.
in.
Mothra.
Everybody knows Mothra.
Mecha Godzilla.
Yep, that
Oh,
counts.
Mecha Godzilla. I like
Okay.
Mecha Streisand better.
Rodan.
Yeah,
Rodan.
Rodan. The,
Ghidra.
Ghidra.
King, I never say it right. Ghidorah.
Scylla.
The
Scylla
the controversial answer is King Kong.
Ooh, how
of
dare
the
you?
Godzilla universe, because technically they all kind of live on Skull Island, right?
I'm getting HBO Max this Friday, just so I can watch Wonder Woman and Godzilla, the new Godzilla. That's all
There
I
you
care
go.
about. I love Godzilla.
There
so-
are far more things to care about on HBO Max than that.
Well, they have a lot of
In
good
my-
doc. I think you know what? I'm excited about the documentaries. I'll be honest. I'm excited about that. But yeah, I'm going to say I'm going to have to go with Mothra. Is probably one of my favorites. I
What's
like.
a generic one that everyone would go with?
I don't
No,
know. I like
he
it.
just likes the little miniature Japanese girls that sing that song for Mothra.
King
The
Ghidorah.
twins. The twins.
Yeah, the twins.
Can I pick Robert Smith
Get out. Get out.
from that episode of South Park?
Get out.
Robert Smith! Oh!
All right, from What Were They Thinking podcast, getting free
What are
time
they
on our
thinking?
podcast.
Hey,
I hope you send stuff in for them so we get free time on their podcast.
I'm
Jason.
going to now.
All right. So what wrestler, that's wrestler with a capital W, deserves a biopic, and who would play him or her? But I guess some people answered this question, and you put it in there. Brian Howe said Vin Diesel as Stone Cold Steve Austin could be interesting. And then Dr. Number One said, and we all know this, Kevin James as Jim the Anvil Neidhart.
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 How dare you?
That's the move.
That's it. That's it.
That's the move.
This
Rest in
match
peace.
at WrestleMania 7 versus the Barbarian. Woo!
Oh, legendary.
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 Ha! Ha! The liquid toad is an irradiated toad kaiju created by Toho that appears in the 1958 film.
If it's Toho, that's legit.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll give you that. Brian, you're a big wrestling
H-Man.
fan.
So
Hey, that's not
there.
about you.
I'm taking that one.
Brian, who you going with?
I'm gonna get announced because I want to see it, and then Hemsworth and the Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm interested in that.
That's a tough one. I'm trying to think what you could do.
I don't know who I'd get to be the actor, but They need a Chris Benoit story.
Ugh.
Yeah, the Crippler.
They need to explore that, warts and all.
How about Mark McGrath as Crippler?
Sure. Ryan Gosling.
What is that? Let's see here. Hold on. Let me
Chris
get this
Jericho.
here.
Chris Jericho as
Ironheart.
So, Mark McGrath, if you did a 90-minute biopic as him as the main star, it would only cost $2,160 for his acting ability.
That's if he it's everything perfect in one take.
We got
In
one
Jason C.
cameo.
Brown directing. It's going to be perfect in one take. We're doing this.
Which I would expect.
Get Mark McGrath on the phone, Jeff.
Oh, I've got the direct line to Mark McGrath.
You do. It's $24.
Did we also?
All right, then Professor Number One and Doctor Number One says, "Who pronounced it? Warsh? Jason with epidemiologist or Blake with Audi?"
Jeff?
Worst? Jason was worse. I mean, all Audi is like missing an L, where epidemiologist or whatever you said was pretty
That's
bad.
Speech impediment. That's speech impediment, people.
Yeah, no, you don't.
Well, I did when I was a kid.
Yeah, okay, you had a speech impediment 30 years ago.
At some
Anyway,
point, you're gonna have to get past it, Jason, whether
I
you want to or not.
I can't. If only Kevin James could support me and give me a motivational speech. That's all I want. Jeff, can you give me some music for News of the Geek?
Dun, 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 dun. News of the Geek.
This is we're going off topic here because we have breaking news from breaking news from yesterday. Pornhub has removed a majority of its content, millions of explicit videos uploaded from unverified users as part of a series of changes following allegations that the site showed, videos of child abuse and non-consensual sexual behavior. Well, this isn't a fun article anymore. Never mind.
You didn't read the article?
No, I just saw Pornhub took some stuff
Oh,
down.
yeah. Well, didn't they got pressure because was it Visa and MasterCard was going to refuse to accept any payment
To
to
process their payments.
process payment.
Yeah.
Thank you, because
They
of the shit they were showing.
They went from 13.5 million videos down to 3 million. So
Holy
there you go.
moly!
Yeah, there goes Blake's free time.
Yeah.
Let's see.
10 million videos Blake doesn't have to worry about watching now.
My goal has become achievable.
Guess I should have read that article first, Andy.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks
Yeah.
for bumming us all out
Anytime.
now.
Thanks. Let's see here. We'll go back to the script then. Per Complex, a man was forced to part with his PlayStation 5 last month after his wife discovered that he had lied to her about being an air purifier. From the Taiwan News.
I thought this was a hilarious story.
This heartbreaking story comes out of courtesy of Jin Woo, who turned out to be the lucky recipient of Sony's next-gen console. He detailed his interaction on Facebook, claiming that one day after agreeing to buy PS5 from a reseller in person, he called the individual he believed to be a man on the phone, only to hear a woman pick up. After his brief conversation with the mysterious woman, Woo could ascertain that she didn't know much about the PS5, but was adamant about selling it. I don't know what it is, but I'm selling it at a low price. While he doesn't specify just how cheap she was willing to go to sell the PS5 digital edition, it usually ranges from $399 to $499. When he arrived to pick up the PlayStation 5, he was greeted by a middle-aged man. The two discussed how he was able to get his hands on such the PlayStation. But did you buy two? Otherwise, why are you selling it? The man fell silent before coming forward with the truth, saying, "My wife wants to sell it." Quote, "I went silent after seeing the look in his eyes. I could feel his pain," Wu recalls. He struggled to keep their suddenly awkward conversation going. It turns out that women can tell the difference between the PS5 and an air purifier. So there you go. People have been going to drastic measures. A man named Tyler Lopez started waiting in line outside a GameStop in Dublin, California at 8 p.m. Wednesday evening and proceeded to stay in line for 36 hours. So he could be the first person to buy one at that GameStop.
And they didn't have anyone who came.
There are cautionary tales about that.
I heard, there were like GameStops that like people were camping out in line and then come out and said, "We don't have any. You can camp out here all you want. We don't have any to sell you when we open the doors."
People line up out here for Record Store Day, and
Still?
Yeah, not this year, but last year, and someone lined up at 5 p.m. for the 10 a.m. releases the next day because there was only going to be one album, and I think it was a Morrissey album, and there was only 100 made, and Amoeba, which is the big store out here, was supposed to get one copy. It didn't come in.
Oh.
The entire line of 500 people were like dying inside for this poor man who waited, for 17 hours. And
You know what?
walked away with.
That sounds like the lyrics to a Morrissey song.
Yeah, doesn't it though? That's
That's what Morrissey fans deserve anyway.
The lonely man waited at 5
Morrissey
p.m.
is up for the best Morris of the Year floppy award. Just to let you guys know, he is.
I can't even vote for Morrissey for that.
We also have best intern of the year. Intern Hackney is he's in a close battle with a fax machine. So it's going to be tough.
It's way too close.
Hey, the fax machine gives me jokes every day. So
All right, Jeff.
Brian gives us jokes once a month, maybe. Oh no, he talks about Quibi. That's good. That's a good joke.
Yeah, JCB. Did you do any Quibi work?
I interviewed for a Quibi show, but I did not take it.
Brian, how's it going?
Hey, we'd like
was
you to
one
do
of
this.
the
No,
6
thanks.
subscribers to Quibi. So.
Brian was a big fan of Quibi.
I
He was
was.
the one. Yeah.
And he hates when
Right.
we tease him and make fun of Quibi. So Quibi constantly do it. And there he goes.
Nope.
So that was
Brian, I'm
perfect,
taking the
JCB.
high road.
Thanks for that
Taking the
answer.
high road, Brian.
That was
Yeah.
awesome.
From this moment on. Let's see. The Netflix effect. On October 23rd, 2020, The Queen's Gambit debuted on Netflix. Since then, 62 million households have watched the show. Inquiries for chess sets are now up 250% on eBay. Google search queries for how to play chess has hit an all-time high in 9 years with 7 people. The original novel, The Queen's Gambit, is now a New York Times bestseller 36 years after its release. And the number of new players on chess.com has grown by 5 times to 25 people. That is a big number, people. We are hitting it. But yeah, Netflix has caused chess to be popular again. So has anyone seen The Queen's Gambit?
Yeah, I'm halfway through, over halfway through it. But it's been on hold for the past week and a half.
Jason, you saw it, you said?
Just started. I haven't gotten too far, and like what I see.
I heard it. I heard
It's good.
outstanding.
Yeah, it is. It's really good.
In my queue, if that means anything.
The other. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, sir.
I was going to say the other two, like Netflix effect, as you call it, that are always brought up is Happy Days. There's a famous episode of Happy Days, and if you remember it, right at the end of the episode, the Fonz takes out his library card.
Oh, God.
And it's a very famous moment where Fonzie pulls out his library card. And after that episode aired, the number of people who went to public libraries and got library cards like tripled in the United States. It was something insane. And the other one of those is the Mary Tyler Moore Show, where Mary Tyler Moore's character worked in broadcasting, and the number of women who got into the field of broadcasting because of that show was exponential. It was like it went from very few women working in that industry as a whole to opening a door for people to realize, hey, as a woman, I can do what Mary Tyler Moore does, and totally influence the world basically in that way.
Unfortunately, encouraged Megyn Kelly, and that kind of was the downside. That was the downside. Sorry.
Give and
Hey
take.
now.
That's right. Oh, I'm sorry,
I got
Blake. She
nothing
did
to
a
do
really
with that.
successful job on NBC. My bad.
Yeah, that wasn't very good.
Let's see here. And this is breaking news. There's
Oh,
rumors out there.
please bum me out some more, Jason.
No, Jason C. Brown is the director that they're looking towards for Universal to restart Dark Universe.
I love the Universal monsters, man.
I do too, but you can't make an Avengers film out of this.
Oh, you can't.
Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein, Dracula, Creature from the Black Lagoon, Hunchback of Notre Dame, and Invisible Man were all in the works before The Mummy was released in 2017.
Thanks, Tom Cruise.
Yep, it bombed. Actors
Brendan
Javier
Fraser was
Bardem.
good.
Was The Mummy any good? The new one?
The Brendan Fraser one was from
That's
1995.
true, what?
Yeah, and that spawned the Rock's movie career.
Ugh. The Scorpion King.
Scorpion King.
Let's see. Basically, Johnny Depp was supposed to be the Invisible Man. Russell Crowe was Dr. Jekyll. Javier Bardem was the Frankenstein's monster. And basically, they never did anything except a photo shoot. It was a major embarrassment for the studio, but Blumhouse Productions is now doing something with at least some of those properties. Their Invisible Man film came out this year and was a highly touted success.
Yep.
Let's see here. Ryan Gosling is attached to star in a new take on Wolfman. It's got to be better than Wolf. The question is, will the Dark Universe make a return? Remember that, Jeff? Wolf was awful. Let's see here. Blum said, I'd love to be in charge of them. I wish I was the right person to ask. I'm just not. They let us produce Invisible Man, and they're going to let us produce Wolfman. But the monsters and their fate and the direction of what the monsters mean overall, that's entirely a question for Universal. Universal was quoted as saying, we have monsters? What happened? When did this happen? Go talk to Jason C. Brown. He's in charge.
Enjoy it at the theme park. That's where you see them.
Yeah. I love the Universal monsters, but
Me too.
it's not happening right now. Just stop. Oh, God.
Are they going to bring on the Groovy Ghoulies?
Who?
The Groovy Ghoulies?
No idea who that is. Is that with the grape ape?
It was like the Hanna-Barbera version of the monsters.
There you go.
And also today, breaking news: Tom Cruise yelled at two cast members or crew
I was
members.
just about to bring that up
Yep.
because I just found the story.
Yeah.
Because they were not doing COVID protocols, so he went off on Mission Impossible 7 set. So don't mess with him and COVID, and I don't blame him.
So it's Tom Cruise got the job of being the safety and health supervisor on that?
According to him, he's
we're
everything.
all in charge of safety.
That's right.
I got the article pulled up here. It says Cruise can be heard saying, "We are the gold standard. They're back in Hollywood making movies right now because of us, because they believe in us and what we're doing. I'm on the phone with every fucking studio at night, insurance companies, producers, and they're looking at us and using us to make their movies. We are creating thousands of jobs, you motherfuckers. I don't ever want to see it again, ever."
Good for him. Good for him.
That pretty much sums it up too, because if they get shut down, guess what? Everybody's gonna look at it and be like, "Hey, those guys shut down. They couldn't hold the standard.
Keep it up. Yep.
Yeah, they couldn't follow the protocols."
There are several more paragraphs, but it's pretty much
More profanity.
a lot more profanity and just him telling them that, if they shut down, then it's not just him or them that lose their job. There's hundreds, even thousands of people who, don't get a paycheck.
And then he proceeded to run really fast away from the set. Run, Jeff, run. Jason, obviously, I don't want you saying names, obviously, for your own job protection, but have you ever been on set when an actor, a well-known actor, has just gone off on something?
No, I've been pretty lucky that the actors I always say 90% of the people, 99% of the people are amazing, and it's 1%. But the 1% that is bad, I think they're just. It's not that they like yell and scream. I think it's being inconsiderate. Where we're ready, we're waiting for you. Knock knock. I told you. I gave you a 5-minute warning. Knock knock. We're ready for you, and you don't come out of your trailer. I think people being inconsiderate is way more of a problem than somebody coming in and yelling and screaming, which, doesn't really happen very often.
We have that with Blake on our show. Blake, time to do a show. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm out of town. What? When did this happen? I mean, Blake, we're ready. Jeff, go ahead and hit us with your box office news real quick.
Box office. Do I get music, Jason?
Doot. Box office.
Thanks. Number one at the box office this week, The Croods made another $3 million, a total of $24.2 million on a $65 million budget. The Croods, A New Age. Number two, Half Brothers made $490,000, a total of $1.4 million on an unknown budget. Coming in at number three, the re-release of Elf made $400,000, cumulative total of $223 million on its original $33 million budget. Jason's favorite, Freaky, made $315,000, a total of $8.2 million on a $5 million budget. So there you go, a movie that actually got back its money at the U.S. box office.
Freaky is well earned. I like that movie a lot.
That is a tiny budget.
What's that?
That $5 million is a tiny budget.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. Which I didn't know they even made those movies anymore.
Especially with Vince Vaughn.
Yeah.
And coming in at number five, the re-release of the 2000 movie, Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas, made $268,170, a $260 million cumulative total on a $123 million budget.
This is the scary Jim Carrey one that my kids really do enjoy, and it kind of freaks me out.
I don't know how people like that one. I hated that version.
Yeah.
But you're saying the Benedict Cumberbatch one is pretty good.
I like the animated one. I really did. It's nothing like out of this world, but I enjoyed it.
Better than this one from 2000?
Yes. Times 1,000. Yes.
Upcoming December 18th of 2020, we have Monster Hunter.
Oh, yeah. Here we go. Behind our world, there is another, a world of dangerous and powerful monsters that rule their domain with deadly ferocity.
Is this a Universal Monster movie?
No.
For us?
It's already been censored in China. There's an insensitive joke.
Yeah. It's Paul W.S. Anderson from Resident Evil fame franchise.
From Mila Jovovich fame.
Yep. So Lieutenant Artemis and her loyal soldiers are transported from our world to the new one, and basically they have to hunt on monsters. So it's a famous video game, or pretty popular, I should say. Sorry. There you go.
Oh, so that's why you get PWS Anderson to
pretty much.
Because otherwise, if you're going off a video game, it's him or Yui Bowl. Which one do you want?
I like the Resident Evil franchise.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Comparatively speaking, I don't know. Jason, do you have opinions on Yui Bowl? Did you ever get to work with him?
I have not. Or the other Paul Anderson. Neither. I have not had the pleasure.
What else, Jeff?
We have Zombie Bro.
I got that one. Hold on. Let me see here. Let's see. Zombie Bro. A girl springs into action to save her parents and the rest of the town from her undead brother.
Who's
starring Anthony Toffa, Lauren Grego, Cooper Flynn, Claudia Pickering. It's made from 2019. It's under 90 minutes, Jeff.
Oh, no.
That can't be a good sign.
Good.
Hour and 20
Live action
minutes.
movie under an hour and a half is never a good sign.
Nope.
We also have Sister of the Groom.
Yes. Hold on. Give me that here. It is during a destination wedding weekend. A woman and her loyal husband plan a series of embarrassing mishaps to ruin the relationship between her brother and his new bride.
That sounds like a terrible movie.
Amy Miller Gross, Andrew Carlberg, and Tim Harms. Oh, Tom Everett Scott is in it.
Oh,
Alicia Silverstone. Oh, that was who was produced by Amy Miller Gross, Andrew Carlberg.
Oh, yeah.
Let me get that right.
Nice one.
Details, details.
there you go.
Jake Hoffman is in it, and that's all I got. There you go. What else, Jeff?
Do you think to make a movie over 90 minutes, you just stretch the credits out longer? Do you think you could do it that way?
Probably. I think so. Sister of the Groom is an hour and 32 minutes.
Okay. See, they 2.5 minutes more credits, and boom, they got it.
Yep.
And you have to know how great Tom Everett Scott is. He is
Yeah.
joy. He is a true joy.
You know,
That Thing You Do is probably
I love that.
an honorable mention for underrated movie.
yeah. Jeff, you love that show, that movie.
Oh yeah, you do. And what was he was in that one TV show. Brian, what was that TV show we like?
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
That's my show. I did that season 1.
Did that?
Oh,
I did season 1 of I'm Sorry.
that's
Well,
awesome.
Now you're my favorite.
Yeah.
Yep.
That is
You might
such
have a vote for Canadian of the Year with Jeff.
Yes.
Such a good show, man.
It's so good. Martin Mull.
Another one that
and
got because of COVID. They got the
exactly.
axe.
And that and Drunk History kind of got the axe right around the same time, and it just knife to the heart for both of those because I loved I'm Sorry so much. That was a joy to work on. That was so much fun.
Tom Everett Scott was also in 27 Dresses, I think.
That I don't know.
Roughly.
Not a Katherine Heigl fan.
Sorry.
Although now I'm going to have to tell Nickel, his past bribes were pretty good and I love them, but he didn't bring me I'm Sorry. So I might be shifting my vote now for Canadian of the Year.
Yes.
Oh, well, no. Tom Everett Scott, he can't be that good of a guy. He was in La La Land. Oh, my God.
Well, I saw someone post something about that as well. So yeah, he shows up at the very end. He's the husband.
I never saw it. I just have to.
Jason just likes making fun of it, even though he's never attempted to watch it.
There you go.
Because we're Americans and it's in our constitutional right.
That's right.
True.
America.
You have a right.
What else, Jeff?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. We also have Hunter x Hunter.
A fur trapper leaves his wife and daughter behind to kill a rogue wolf in the remote wilderness. But they soon become increasingly worried when a severely injured man shows up to disrupt their peaceful existence.
Hey, is this the sequel to The Gray?
Oh, God. Is that how it finally ended?
Hey, as I was researching our top 5, I saw several lists that had The Gray on it.
Wow.
If it had an ending, I would have been happy.
I don't know. I haven't seen The Gray, so I couldn't judge.
Summer Howl, Devin Sawa, Nick Stahl, wow, and Jada Michael. That's all I got. What else you got, Jeff? We got one more.
We've got Skyline.
Oh, yeah. Directed by Liam O'Donnell, starring Lindsay Morgan, Alexander Siddig, Daniel Bernhardt from the Bloodsport franchise. And the reason why this is good, hold on, this is, let's see here, also known as Skyline 3, if you guys remember that one. American sci-fi film. Basically, when a virus threatens to turn friendly alien hybrids against humans, Captain Rose Corley and her team of elite soldiers embark on a mission to an extraterrestrial world to save what's left of mankind. Our good friends from Nerdly Out Loud podcast just had a, Kevin Howden. He just had a, a comic convention breakout room basically with the whole cast. It was their premiere. So that was 2 days ago. Oh no, it was yesterday. I'm sorry. I was part of it, and then they had limited clicks basically to get into the room, and then you could watch it on YouTube. So it was really well done. So, and the cast was fun. So there you go. So good job to check out Nerdly Out Loud for that one.
So is
but
this
yes, Skyline.
a sequel? Because wasn't there? Okay, I didn't realize that they were making sequels to that movie.
Skyline was Donald Faison or whatever from
Scrubs.
Yep. And then they made Skyline 2 4 years ago, and then this one came out. So, but yeah, I think Liam O'Donnell. I think he's done all three. So I think he's written all three as well. So
Cool.
That's all I got, Jeff. That's all
you got?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have anything else coming up other than in September there's going to be a little convention.
That's right. Cincinnati Comic Expo, September 17th through the 19th. Sponsor of Hobie, Cincinnati Convention Center, Duke Energy Convention Center, isn't it? Is that what it's called?
It's still called the Duke Energy Convention Center.
Until it gets bought out.
Yeah, that's true. By Hobie.
Or turned into a hospital.
Stop it. We have a vaccine, people.
The vaccine is in the country.
Yes. We are going to have a fucking comic expo this year. Somehow we're going to have a fucking expo somewhere in this world. It's going to be in Cincinnati. Because everybody in Cincinnati listens. So it's September 17th through the 19th. Get your tickets when they go on sale, hopefully in March, February or March at CincinnatiComicExpo.com. So as long as people put their fucking masks on and listen. Hobie will be there. We'll be running the stage. Hello. And having some trivia and introducing some good panels there. So there you go. Jeff, you got anything else to add about the expo?
We'll be there. Oh, wait, no, you said that. We'll be running the stage. Oh, no, you said that too.
We got tons of Funko Pops to give away for gifts.
Oh, yeah, and we've got Funko Pops to give away.
Yep. There you go, right there.
Ooh, which one is them? Is that a Han Solo?
That is
Young Han Solo.
This is from San Diego Comic-Con 2018. I don't even have a name on this one. Who is this?
I see Star Wars. Broom Boy.
We're giving away thrown out prizes from other Comic Cons from years ago.
Yeah, it's it's Solo's girlfriend in the movie Solo, Kiara. Yeah, Kira.
Amelia Clark.
Yeah. The best part is Solo. Okay, the collectible ones, they have Solo, Lando, Kiara, Chewbacca, and Chewbacca with goggles. That's it. So that's how great the characters were, but that's okay. So there you go. Top 5, Jeff. Give me some music.
Let's see. Music for top 5. Play, blink, 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 blink. Top 5.
Well done.
Is that good?
That is good. Jason C. Brown, you go first with your number 5 and see if you take it off anybody's board. You go first with number 5.
Okay.
What is it, Jason?
Sorry,
top five.
Underrated film movies.
This was requested by JCB himself.
That's right. This was my request. And this was a daunting task because I am a huge movie fan and narrowing it down to 5 was impossible. So I made my top 5. I did it by decade. So I got one from the 60s, one from the 70s, one from the 80s, one from the 90s, and one from the 2000s.
I like it.
Structured it that way to make it at least a little easier.
Well, so the 2000s choice should be easier because you had 20 years of movies.
Exactly. And don't think I didn't use all 20 to get there. And
wow, mine are all from the same decade.
I hope the 80s or 90s because I have so many like adjacent movies that I want to be in. So my number 5 is from the 60s. It's from 1960. And my number 5 is The Apartment by Billy Wilder. It stars
funny movie.
And it stars Shirley MacLaine and Fred McMurray, who people know from Disney movies. And a lot of people know Billy Wilder's greats like Sunset Boulevard and stuff like that. But there is not one bad frame in The Apartment. It is a perfect movie with a perfect ending. It's got a Christmas element to it, a New Year's Eve element to it.
Ooh, that could go on my top Christmas movie then.
It's so good. Ray Walston is in it, who shows up later in Fast Times at Ridgemont High, and inspired so many great movies. Cameron Crowe is a huge fan of Billy Wilder, and if you ever watch Almost Famous, the scene where Penny Lane takes the sleeping pills and Patrick Fugit has to walk her around the room to keep her awake, that is dead on an homage to The Apartment, where Shirley MacLaine's character takes sleeping pills and Jack Lemmon's character has to walk her around and keep her awake. It's a magical movie.
I was going to say, you didn't say Jack Lemmon yet, but okay,
yeah,
you did.
Jack Lemmon steals the show. They did a live read of this movie out in LA here about 5 years ago. And the live read, they had Steve Carell play the Jack Lemmon character, and they had Natalie Portman play Shirley MacLaine, and it's perfect. So it's very hard for a movie that won 5 Oscars, including Best Picture, to be underrated. Yeah. But everyone should see this movie, The Apartment.
Okay. Blake, number 5.
Well, my picks and explanations aren't as exciting as that, but
maybe we just do Jason's list.
Yeah, just do Jason's list. Can I just quit? All right, so I for this one, I tried to find a good director that probably his film's not as popular as some of the other ones that he's did. And that I'm a big fan of Richard Linklater's Waking Life. And
yes.
Thank you. I'm validated. So I love it just in the fact that I think, especially if you're like in the time of COVID, this is probably a good movie to go back and watch and get some meaning out of life and some deeper meaning. I like it. It's Wiley Wiggins from his from Dazed and Confused is the main character in this, and basically you follow him on a surreal journey of philosophy about life and dreams, and just basically what's it all mean.
This is the animated.
Some of it's animated, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
It's got everything. Yeah.
Brian, what's your number 5?
My number 5. So I tried
Rocky
to stay
4?
between. What's that?
Rocky 4.
That's not an underrated movie. That's
a
perfectly rated.
Totally overrated movie. Totally overrated.
I tried to stay between the late 90s to the late 2000s.
Okay.
Like before 2020. Because I feel like we've done this a couple of different times, different ways. So
yes,
just thinking of like newer-ish type movies. My number 5 was Baby Driver.
Yes, love it.
I mean, Edgar Wright he's so good, man. I can't wait for the sequel. Hopefully it gets made. But everything about that movie is so good. Like the soundtrack goes. Obviously it's built into the movie and it's part of the movie, but everything just flows together so good, and then the cast is so good.
Number 5 for you, Jeff.
Yeah, let's see. Mine, I will say all of these movies came out from the time that I worked at the movie theater. So they're movies that, I probably wouldn't have seen if I wasn't screening them at the movie theater. But these are ones that I like that tended to not do well at the box office.
House Bunny?
No, I said the ones I liked.
Oh, okay, my bad.
But my number 5 is The Punisher.
Oh.
Which one?
The Thomas Jane one.
So, Jeff, I had that, and then I realized we've done this before, like Brian said, but it's good to go back because there's so many underrated ones that I was trying to remember which ones I did. I did not put The Punisher because I had that on my last one, but we didn't do this one it's been a while.
Yeah,
a long time.
Years.
Yeah. So, but that's a good one, Tom. Gotta go and sit this one out, Jeff.
Yeah. God's going to sit this one out.
My number 5 is The Count of Monte Cristo. The newer, 2000 2 or something like that.
It was shorter than the book.
What's that?
Shorter than the book.
It is,
That
it
it
is.
was. That's the shit. Who
Ma.
was the actor? Jim Caviezel.
Yeah.
Jim Caviezel and
Superman.
Luis Guzman.
Yep, Luis Guzman. I really enjoyed that film. Blake, I agree with you. I tried reading that book several times. I can't. It's rough.
It is.
It's a long one.
Just
but
stick
yeah,
with the
I
Three
really-
Musketeers.
My number 4 is Mystery Alaska. That I just added.
Which, yeah,
Because it's such a
Yeah.
good film.
I can definitely agree with that one.
Well deserving.
It is. It is.
think-
Anybody
yeah.
know where you can get rubbing a tug around here? Hockey in Alaska. It's awesome. Jeff, number 4.
My number 4 is Down with Love.
Ooh.
The people's names are now eluding
Hawke.
me. No, Ewan McGregor
Ewan McGregor.
and Renee Zellweger.
Yep.
Yeah.
It kind of a throwback to the 50s, romantic. What do they call those? Bedroom romps or
Screwball comedy type.
yeah. And I thought it was a great homage to that, and it didn't seem to get anybody coming to the theater to see it. And I don't think it did anything on video sales either.
Was it better than House Bunny?
Much better than House Bunny.
Okay, just check.
Everything on my list is better than House
Better.
Bunny.
We'll be the judge of that.
And I even like Anna Faris, but
Brian, number 4.
Number 4 for me, I have Lawless.
Oh.
Oh, that.
Tom
Yeah.
Hardy, Shia LaBeouf, Jason
Oh.
Clarke, Gary or Guy Pearce. Not Gary. I thought it was Gary Oldman, but Guy Pearce, Jessica Chastain.
I think that one showed up on a couple of lists I saw when
Yeah.
I was looking up what other people thought were underrated.
I randomly got the book for Christmas, like I think the year before it came out, and it was awesome. And just the next year the movie came out, so yeah.
Okay. Who's Blake? What's number 4?
All right, coming back around the horn here. Number 4, I think the more I watch this movie, the greater appreciation I have, not just for the comedy, but I've discovered that I've been doing a hell of a lot of quoting from this movie, and Jason C. Brown may appreciate this. This is probably one of the coolest scenes where they're following the race car around the track and they're flying, and it's overhead with a bird's eye view, and it goes into the cockpit of the car, and you're with the driver, and it comes out the windshield eye on the other
It's
side.
Talladega
What a great
Nights.
shot. That's right.
Talladega Nights. Yes.
The Ballad of Ricky Bobby. And
Yep.
the more I watch this movie, the more some of the comedy scenes in it are awesome. And I'm always quoting that, I like to picture Jesus in a tuxedo t-shirt because it says I want to be formal, but I'm here to party.
He's all hammered drunk in the front row.
Exactly. And you think about it, Sacha Baron Cohen, perfect Formula driver in NASCAR. And, the scene where he's in the bar and they're playing jazz and everybody freaks out. I was like, oh, am I hurting my ears? It's for profiling purposes. Why do you have jazz? The more I think about this movie, the more, the better it is. And then basically it has a great moral story of life. And that is, if you ain't first, you're last.
Your land.
Oh, moral ambiguity. The hallmark of 19th century American literature.
That's just stupid. I mean, you could be second or fourth, fifth, hell, even seventh.
I was high.
Jason, what is your number 4?
Well, I got to tell you, right out of the gate, I appreciate all your other choices because you guys are hitting the nail on the head with things like how great soundtracks are and directors who direct great movies. And this is maybe another movie that they directed that wasn't as good. So my number 4 is from 1986, the BMX classic, Rad.
God.
Wow.
Okay. So this is directed by Hal Needham, who also directed
Oh, Smokey the
Cannonball
Bandit.
Run and Smokey and the Bandit.
Yeah.
So this is the story of a kid who's a BMX rider. They build the Hell Track in his hometown. It's a great classic 80s. It almost qualifies as a sports movie. It is a classic.
I remember seeing the cover of that at the video store when I was a kid,
Yep.
and just
Yep.
the look of it. Oh my God!
Yeah.
Um,
Great
Well, now I
soundtrack.
have to go watch it because I never had a desire to watch this. I remember when it was out, but
It's like a Bart Connor, Olympic athlete, is his competition, and this is one of the few times that the lead actor had to change his look so that he could look like his stunt double rather than vice versa.
What's your number 3, Jason?
My number 3, we are going to the 90s and 1992.
Ooh.
This is a film directed by Phil Alden Robinson, who does not ring a bell for anybody. And it is the movie Sneakers.
oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Good
The
film.
other movie that Phil Alden Robinson directed,
Didn't need Field of Dreams.
Field of Dreams. Ding, 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 ding,
Wow.
ding. So this is a cast of there are 7 cast members who have either won Oscars or been nominated for Oscars. It's Robert Redford,
Yeah.
Sidney Poitier, David Strathairn, Stephen Tobolowsky, Ben Kingsley, River Phoenix, and Dan Aykroyd. And it is
Yeah.
basically a precursor to what Ocean's 11 is, where it's the heist movie and the good guys and the bad guys of the government, and it's got twists that are great. It is the ensemble cast is amazing, the writing is amazing, the acting is of course top notch. But 1992's Sneakers is my number 3.
100%.
I remember that
movie.
VHS cover too.
Yes,
My voice
the-
is
Yep,
my
they're all lined up.
passport.
Yep.
That's a classic cover. As soon as I looked it up, you started talking. As soon as I looked it up, I'm like, yeah, I've seen that movie.
Yep.
Blake, what's your number 3?
Let's see, my number 3. You guys may disagree with it, but I love this Keanu Reeves and Rachel Weisz movie. When it came out, originally people hated it, but I enjoyed Constantine. And I'll tell you what, when I'm channel hopping and that movie's on, I'll stop and I'll watch it wherever it's at, whatever it's playing, whether it's the first 5 minutes or the last 5 minutes. I'll still tune into it. And I still think it's a great overall concept and a great story and cast.
Rumor is that they're trying to get him back for one of the next DC films, Constantine.
I think that'd be
Keanu.
pretty cool if he could.
I heard he was going to be in Spider-Man 3.
Everyone's in Spider-Man 3.
Yeah,
I'm in
just wanna-
Spider-Man 3. I play Uncle Ben, version 7.
I think Mark McGrath is in Spider-Man 3.
They actually put him in for 90 minutes for $2,100. It's great. I mean, oh, poor Sugar Ray. Let's see. What do you got, Brian, for number 3?
Number 3, I have 3:10 to Yuma.
I thought about that one.
Great. Original's great too, but that remake was awesome.
Yeah.
And it did not do well at the box office.
No,
It did okay, but nothing great.
That was one I considered on my list.
Yeah.
As I went through my DVD
3 or
collection, I
4
went-
movies that are just like that, and like that westernish genre that have been done in the last 10 years that I could have picked, but I think this one's is my
Not for the-
favorite out of all of them.
Not the Magnificent Seven, though, with Chris Pratt. Mm-mm.
Yeah, that was disappointing.
That was
I
rough.
really- I wanted
Where-
that one to be good.
Oh, I did too.
Oh
but
yeah.
it was The Ridiculous Six though was great.
Stop it. Well, the Magnificent Seven's being remade right now in The Mandalorian. He's getting all the same type of characters in it. So it's
Star Wars has always been Kurosawa.
yep. And you can definitely see every time they add someone, the Mandalorian's adding someone this season. I'm like, son of a bitch, really? Okay, who's next? And Bill Burr is awesome in it. He's hilarious. Number 3 for you, Jeff.
My number 3 is Lucky Number 11.
Oh,
Yeah.
Is
That's
that the Hitman?
Yeah, with
Yeah.
Bruce Willis and that other guy,
Is it-
Josh Hartnett.
Josh
Yeah.
Hartnett.
The Kansas City Shuffle. Is that what it's called?
That was it. Yep, the Kansas City Shuffle. You look that way while something else is going on over here. Really liked that movie when it came out, and it never went anywhere. But although I do have it on DVD, so I liked it enough to get that.
I got it on Laserdisc.
And a great play on words. Lucky number 11.
Seven Calibria.
Mine's from 1998. Director Joe Dante.
Oh,
Small Soldiers. Love.
wow.
Remember that, Jason?
Sure. Gremlins director, yeah.
Yep. It's Commando Elite action figures go against basically these, I don't know, like troll-looking things. They're action figures, and they come to life. And they're in a kid's room, and basically the kid gets pulled into the war between these two warring factions of toys. And the best part is Phil Hartman's in it with one of his classic lines while he's watching a documentary about World War II. He's like, I think that's my favorite World War. He said on the couch, I think that's my favorite one. Phil Hartman's great in it. It's just a fun show. And the best part is, so it came out in 1998, and it was PG-13. And it was even told it's not a young kid's film. And my brother worked at the movie theaters at that time, and that's how I remember previewing it with him. And he would tell me the stories about how many people would come out pissed off because there was too much violence and cussing in it. It's like, well, yeah, it's a PG-13 film. What did you expect? So, really liked Small Soldiers. Really liked it. Did not do well. And then number 2, this is funny because this is actually before even Jason talked about it. Kong, Skull Island. Really love Kong, Skull Island.
Nice.
See it, the more I really enjoy it. So, shut it, Jeff. Shut it.
I didn't say a thing.
There's no
I said
toad in this
sound
one.
effect was perfect timing.
I really enjoyed Kong. It was a good film. I thought it was better than Godzilla, and I really enjoyed Godzilla. So I like the mystique of the island. And Samuel L. Jackson yells. So,
Yeah, that's probably the selling point. Samuel L. Jackson yelling.
2 for you, Jeff. Is it Miss March?
No, I did not like that one. That was you and our other buddy Jason who loved that movie. No, my number 2 is King Arthur.
King of the Who?
King.
I don't remember electing you king.
No, different King Arthur movie. The one with God, why are all names leaving me?
Breckheimer.
Well, yeah, he produced it.
Breckheimer?
No,
Clive Owen.
thank you. I was going to call him Ian something. Well, Ian Griffith also was in it too. Clive Owen, Keira Knightley,
My future
Ray
ex-wife.
Winston. So, great cast. A different take on the King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table, which is why most people don't like it because they don't like the take on it. But
And Keira Knightley was Gwendolyn in it.
Guinevere.
Guinevere, sorry, not Gwendolyn. Sorry,
Gwendolyn.
I was thinking of Spider-Man 3 already. Sorry, my bad. She's in
No, that's Gwen
Spider-Man 3
Stacy.
too. But no, she's playing Guinevere. And the best part is when she's on the ice with her soldiers, and the one guy's like, there's a lot of lonely men over there. And she looked at him and she goes, "Don't worry, I won't let them rape you." That is the best line just because she's such a badass. And she's just like takes it, her and her tribe. Good one, Jeff. I forgot about that one. It's no Miss March, but
It was no Miss
Ryan, number
March here.
2.
Number 2, I have Fury.
The Brad Pitt.
Yeah, Brad Pitt,
Balls
John
of Fury?
Bernthal, Shia LaBeouf,
Oh, is that the tank one?
the Tank. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It's a better tank movie than Tank is.
Oh, come on, James Garner.
See
Is it better
Thomas
than Tank
Howell?
Is it better than Tank Girl?
No, nothing's better than Tank Girl.
Okay.
That should be on my list.
Honorable mention.
Well, you got a chance to change it still,
Number 2 for you, Blake.
or you just Hobie it, just add it on.
Just add it.
Oh man, I'll tell you what. I've talked about this movie before, and but I don't care. I'll talk about it again because it's my list. That's right, Harry Angel, hired by Louis Cypher to track down a singer named Johnny Favorite. But the investigation takes an unexpected and somber turn in a controversial sex scene with Lisa Bonet.
It's got to be Angel Heart.
Angel Heart, that's
I thought it was
right.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Oh, man. This may have been on your 1980s decade list.
This was definitely talked about for
Yeah.
sure. This was Dan Gehrman's vote. Actually, when I asked him, "Hey, what's some good underrated movies?" He said Angel Heart.
Isn't
I
that the one that
agree.
got her fired from Cosby Show?
Yeah, she
Yes, but-
needed to do something completely, 180 degree from the Cosby Show, and she did.
Yep,
literally. But I love this part with Robert De Niro as Lucifer, basically Louis Cypher, and he's talking about the soul, and you see his fingernails, and he's peeling he's talking about the egg and the soul, hard-boiled egg, and he's eating it. It's awesome. And now I sit there and I think about this film as I look back in the retrospection. Yeah, precursor to Memento, maybe just a little bit of a spin. A guy who loses his memory, and he turns out he's actually a cruel joke of basically hunting down. Well, I don't want to spoil it for people, but anyway,
He's only 30 years old.
yeah, he's only 30
Yeah, but
years
it's
old.
underrated, so a lot of people haven't seen it yet.
True.
Yeah, so it's good, and this is when Mickey Rourke still looked normal,
Badass.
and still had before he took up boxing, I think, and could act really well, But I like this film an awful lot. It's pretty good. So that's my number 2.
Listeners don't know that's actually a prequel to Iron Man 2 when he becomes Whiplash. So just let you guys know. Completely. Jason, what's your number 2?
My number 2, and in the world of top 5 lists, I picked one based on a novel by Nick Hornsby.
Okay.
But not High Fidelity.
But not The Range.
But not High Fidelity. So 2018, a movie
Ooh.
came out called Juliet Naked. And it is directed by a guy named Jesse Peretz, who does a lot of TV. But it was a novel by Nick Hornsby, who did High Fidelity, and another guy named Jim Taylor, who wrote the movie Sideways. And Juliet Naked is about, there's those like Beatles bootlegs where it's like the Let It Be Naked sessions.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
about an album called Juliet by a rocker who released one album and then disappeared, who is played by, we talked about him earlier, Ethan Hawke.
Yep.
So it's Chris O'Dowd is like obsessed with the guy. He's dating Rose Byrne, and Ethan Hawke is the rocker. And it's got an incredible soundtrack. It's got the exact kind of banter that you want. It was a gem that came and went. And in the world of like high fidelity type movies, it is really good. I really enjoyed it. Juliet Naked.
Made
Sounds like it would've been better if it
3.4
was
million at the
Mark
box office.
McGrath.
Definitely underrated.
What's your number 1?
My number 1
From the
The-
70s, right?
from the 70s,
Yep.
it's 1976, and the movie over your left shoulder
What?
is Clue. Clue did not come out in 1976,
That was
but
85.
what did in 1976 was Murder by Death.
Yep.
Murder by Death, and again, this is an ensemble cast.
Is it Christopher
To
Reeve?
end all ensemble cast. It's basically exactly like Clue. So spoofs of all the great detectives of literature come to a mansion and there's a murder. So the host is Truman Capote.
Yep.
And then it's
Yeah.
Nick and Nora Charles are Dick and Dora Charleston, and that's David Niven and Maggie Smith. Peter Sellers plays the Charlie Chan. Peter Falk plays, instead of Sam Spade, he plays Sam Diamond. And Alec Guinness plays the blind butler. And it's written by Neil Simon. So it is basically Clue before Clue when you watch this movie. And it's got a little bit of like an airplane type spoof element to it as well. So it's Clue before Clue.
Was
And
it
Maggie
if
Smith
it was
is in-
written by Neil Simon? Was this a stage play made into a movie?
I believe it was. I believe it was. It was prior to Biloxi Blues and all those, but yeah, it is amazing.
Cool.
It made $32.5 million at the box office. That's pretty good in
Wow,
'76.
in 76, that is
76,
huge.
Pretty good, yeah. Yep. And the cast is just incredible.
Let's see, Blake, what's your number one?
All right, my number one, and I think you're going to agree with me, Hobie Jason, because I think without the success of this major film, nothing that you see today, like on Disney Plus with The Mandalorian, would be possible. Now, I know
Jedi?
you've had, some cartoon series and all that kind of stuff in between to give people a fill until, the final trilogy came out. But I'm going to get my number one is Rogue One, A Star Wars Story. And I say this is not getting the credit that it actually deserves. But I actually saw an article written about it a couple weeks ago talking about the success of The Mandalorian and the success of Rogue One and why it's so good and why people like those or becoming to like these a lot more than the final trilogy, which we can discuss for a couple hours. But
we have discussed for many
yes, and
hours.
we have discussed it. But when Jason, remember when you first saw this movie, you didn't like it that much,
Correct.
and you're starting to come around because
I love it now.
Yeah, and it's because they did everything right. It's in the Star Wars universe. They don't mess with any of the canon. They give you familiarity where you've seen things before. So what's important about this is all the characters are not connected to the main canon storyline. So there's a level of tensity. Are they going to survive? How are they going to die? You're bought into their survival and the story, and that is what's great about The Mandalorian and all that kind of stuff. That's better than Solo because Solo lives.
Yep.
Or else he doesn't make it to A New Hope, right? So, oh my goodness, he's in this conundrum. How is he going to get out? Well, we know he lives. So, you're not bought in. You're not bought into the plot, and you don't have any concern for the main character's continuation or not. But you do in this one. You get addicted to Jyn Erso. You feel her plight. Obviously they're tapping this movie again because they're coming out with Cassian. Yep. But I don't know if that's going to be as successful because Cassian, his fate already. So there's that problem that you're going to have. But I just think that the more and more I watch this, and every time I watch it even more, I think it's even better. It actually solves what's became a joke of the Death Star, the little hole that blows everything up. They kind of like, hey, we're going to shoe this in a little bit here. And this is why, this great engineer came up with an idea of how to make it destructible. And that's how, he basically screws the Empire over. And then on top of, on top of that, I think it's a great bridge right into A New Hope where, they've got Darth Vader and he's trying to get the plans and he's doing some kick-ass stuff and it ends with Leia getting away and she's like, yeah, getting A New Hope. The first digitization of a major character, wasn't it? They had they had Tarkin and they had her and so I think as time goes on, I think more and more people should love this movie for what it's worth.
It's probably in my top 3 now between that, Empire Strikes Back, and Last Jedi.
Yes.
Star Wars. So
in case you didn't know, I feel attached to that number one.
Well,
I didn't notice.
The best part is that all the fanboys saying, "Oh, Jyn Erso, she's Rey's mom. She's got to be Rey's mom." Oh no, she isn't. That didn't happen.
No.
Brian, what's your number one? Rocky IV.
My number one is Copland.
Stallone.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, good. Heavy Stallone too.
Yeah.
Probably the best Stallone.
But you know what? Other than Rocky IV, wait.
I was thinking Oscar. Might be better.
I was thinking, didn't he get an Oscar nomination for Copland?
He did.
He did. Wow.
Yeah.
Good choice.
So he wasn't they weren't thinking of him. They didn't even ask him to audition. And he wanted to do it because of like in the not like he had a run of like really shit movies, like Judge Dredd, Demolition Man, and a couple others.
Cobra.
Stop or my mom will shoot.
Like in the
I-
90s.
Ryan
I like Demolition Man. It's not great, but it's fun.
But he turned into kind of like the generic action star,
Yeah.
and he was, whatever. So he gained the weight for the part before he even auditioned for it.
Jeez,
Wow.
And then he showed up and he did it and he killed it. And it's probably one of my all-time favorite movies. The cast is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And it's just I've never seen, like, I never had, up to that point I hadn't seen him do anything like that.
That's a good pick.
Great choice.
I
Good number
can't
one.
argue- I can't argue your pick on this one, Brian. I like to argue your picks.
I know.
Yeah.
This
Jeff,
is the
number
first.
one.
All right, well, Brian will probably argue my pick, but
You
okay.
say Solaris, I'm going to fucking slap you.
I did not say Solaris, although I thought about it.
You picked that the last time. Don't
I
fucking
know.
say Solaris.
Well, I probably picked this one the last time too, but I'm picking it again because, well, it's the best movie ever. It's Josie and the Pussycats.
Oh, geez.
Parker Posey?
Is she in that one? Am I thinking of the wrong person?
Josie and the Pussycats. Let's see. I'll get through the cast. Rachel
Well,
Lee
it's
Cook,
Rachel Lee
Rosario
Cook.
Dawson, Tara Reid, Alan Cumming, Parker Posey,
Yeah.
Missy
Yeah.
Pyle, Carson Daly.
And Mark McGrath.
And Mark McGrath, yeah.
He was
Oh,
charging
yeah, it was-
$36 at that point.
And then you had the guys in the band Du Jour with Seth Green and
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
that
we're
other
done
guy.
with this. I can't. Jeff, shut up.
It's a great movie,
Pussy.
and the fact that you aren't even recognizing how great of a movie it is,
Ugh.
and it
You know,
just
the funny
didn't.
thing, this is a hotly debated message on our show because every time you bring up Josie and the Pussycats, people on Twitter go nuts for this film with you.
It
Just
has
right,
a
and then you
loyal
get
following. I will agree
A
that
stupid following, but it is a following.
it is a loyal following of a great movie that
rather watch
people can't understand how great it is.
I'd rather watch House Bunny.
I
No, you-
like following up Josie with the Pussycats with all the Spice Girls videos.
Well, I could have put Spice World on the list. I know some people would have agreed
Okay.
with me on that.
Let's get this back to good films. 2002. And I love this film. I don't know why. Jeff, what do you
You're
think?
even laughing about you don't know why you like
Oh,
it.
I love it. It's
Okay.
good. It's underrated. You should watch it. The Time Machine with Guy Pearce.
Oh,
Yes!
please.
Oh
Wow.
man.
Yes!
Yell at me about Josie and you throw that out. That's the
Beyonce,
worst
you can run
rendition
over-
of that movie.
I like me some Guy
You
Pearce,
run
but
by
not
a
in the Time
stagecoach.
Machine.
It's awesome.
Terrible movie. It even makes Mark Addy look terrible. I mean, come
Stop
on.
it. Stop it. It came out March 8th, 2002. I think we previewed this on my birthday. You're
I
around
just
that.
remember March 6th or whatever day we watched it. I was angry after a while.
I was angry that day, my friend, like an old man sending soup back at the deli. Guy Pearce, Samantha Moomba, Jeremy Irons, who played the bad guy, and the best part, Orlando Jones, who's awesome.
Wow.
So
He's great in The Replacements.
He is. Looks like a jacked off an elephant. So yeah, The Time Machine, great film, enjoyable. Kind of a short ending. I don't know if I would have gone with that ending, but it's okay. And you get to see his fiance get killed by a stagecoach every time, or get mugged. There's like 37 different ways for her to die. It's like
It
Groundhog
showed
Day.
like 3, but
On 37.
and that was added in because all that crap had nothing to do with the original story.
Stop it. The original story's like 12 pages. Okay, that's why.
No, the whole point. He wasn't trying to learn how to travel in time to save his girlfriend. It was for scientific curiosity. But that wasn't enough for this. For
Okay,
the
fine.
Hollywood
Choice. You
period.
can watch this, Time Machine, House Bunny, or Sound of Thunder.
I'll take Sound of Thunder.
Oh dear God.
Over this, yes.
You are a Sound of Thunder.
I don't even know what that means.
Shut up. Anyways, there's your number 5. Honorable mentions. I had Coco, the animated Pixar film that doesn't get enough love.
Oh, I thought you meant
Coco Chanel.
No.
Oh.
Well, yeah. Never mind.
Okay.
My brain just Congo is what I thought you were. I'm like Coco, and it's like that wasn't even the name of the gorilla. That was Amy, but.
I love Coco. Coco is probably one of my favorite Pixar films, and not enough people will talk about it. It's a good film. Real quick, any other honorable mentions here?
I had Jennifer's Body.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's good.
That's a good one.
Amanda Seyfried and of course, was pretty good in that movie too. I think she gets overlooked, just because of what's her name's in it. Yeah,
Yep.
With that one lady.
Anything else?
I had for sports movies, I had Miracle.
Miracle.
Kurt Russell, amazing, and comedy.
Again.
Comedies, I had Dragnet with Tom Hanks and Dan Aykroyd. Never gets enough love, and it's a weird remake because Dragnet was a very serious television show, and it got remade into this comedy. So I think people didn't know what to expect or didn't appreciate it. If you watch it just as a comedy, it's very, very, very good.
It is pretty funny. I didn't appreciate it.
Yeah.
Do you think it was?
I can't look at the LA Rams new logo and think of the Pagans.
Yeah. Exactly.
Goodness and nicety.
People against goodness and normalcy.
Was Dragnet the film better than the Ethan Embry Ed O'Neill TV show remake?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I love Ed O'Neill too.
I do love Ed O'Neill, but
so yeah. There's a lot of good underrated movies, guys. Oof.
Brian, anything?
I had 3. I had Hell or High Water.
Oh yeah.
Death Sentence. Kevin Bacon. Where his kids his family gets murdered and he basically hunts down the people that kill his family.
The downer.
But it's awesome. And then the other one I had wrote down was Domino.
Yeah.
Domino.
Ridley Scott or Tony Scott, one of the two. I don't remember which one, but
I think it was Tony.
Yeah.
I would guess Tony, but I'm not positive either.
I think Tony's right. Yeah, that was a good movie.
It was a really good movie.
Yeah.
It was
really
Tony.
Scott movie though too. Yeah.
Very forgotten.
Yeah.
Jeff, anything?
For honorable mention, I had Jackie Brown.
Oh.
Tarantino movie that everyone seems to overlook or not pay attention to. And I think it should be higher rated than it usually is.
Listener Randall Holt had La La Land. Fuck you.
Did he not have Spice World on his list?
That's enough of that shit. There you go. You can follow Jason at Jason C. Brown AD. So just let you guys know. Jason, always a pleasure for coming on the show.
Thank you guys for having me. And I have to give you one hello from a different podcast, the Business Over Beer podcast, which operates out of the Pacific Northwest with Jonathan Kaler, who's KY's brother. Talked Hobie on their show, and now we're talking Business Over Beer on your show. So I wanted to make sure that they sent their best to you guys.
We've reached out to them, and everything kind of got nuts. But we want to. We're talking about doing a crossover.
I think that's a genius idea, just because you guys are definitely akin. So that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, we talked about that a couple months ago. We gotta get that set up. Intern, work on that.
Yep, I'm on it.
Thank you, intern. You know what? If you can't do it, a fax machine will. So you better fucking hurry up. Get your shit together, Brian.
As long as Robert De Niro doesn't beat me.
Right. That fucking.
What about Robert Downey Jr.? What if he beats you?
Let's see. Bad idea of the week. Jeff, you got any bad ideas?
Oh wow! I had so much good time this week.
You know what? I got one.
Okay.
Number 7012. Don't let your wife sell your PlayStation 5.
I was gonna say, don't break COVID protocols in front of Tom Cruise.
Oh,
Seven.
yeah,
Good.
that's a real high one there.
Let's see. Also, make sure you watch Drunk History. Well, go back to the last season.
Sure thing.
Imaginary Friends.
Out there on YouTube.
That's right. Which I really enjoyed. Really
Thank
did.
you so much.
I told you last time you were on, you needed to be a TV series.
I got another one. I'll send to you guys soon.
Do it, Rockefeller.
And go back and watch season 1 of I'm Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go check out Bruise Brothers too.
Yeah, for sure. Netflix. Yeah.
Let's see
Right.
here. Jeff, you got any titles for the show?
I only wrote down one.
What's that?
That was Mort and Tuffy.
What?
Mort and Tuffy.
Okay. Oh, is that
They're
from
members of the Bazooka Joe gang.
Okay. I had King of the Who. I just wrote down Mark McGrath. I don't think I want that for a
Yeah, we
title.
probably. I was wanting to put a Mark McGrath thing in there, but you say we're not allowed to use people's names or
Yeah.
something, titles. So
Mark McGrath might like it. He could jump cameo up to $26.
probably would enjoy having our title named after him, but unfortunately, iTunes doesn't like it.
I have Stop Calling Him Big D. And I think that's all I had. Brian, help us out here. We need something.
The only one that I wrote down was just one word: experimentaling.
I'm not trying to spell that, let alone say it.
And there's always Josh Gad has no butthole. It's
He
always
does
out
not
there.
have a butthole,
We
if
can
I-
use it.
Yep. We learned that from Artemis Fowl. The only good thing we learned from that movie. I don't even know if it's a good thing. Jeff, what was your pick?
I had Mort and Tuffy
You know what? We're going to go with that one because
because we're that
That's all we
sad.
have.
it's Jason C. Brown's next film. He trademarked it.
I dig it.
Or we could just put "It's all we have."
I feel like in this day and age, the Bazooka Joe crowd of 90 years and older will really appreciate this.
Absolutely.
They're stuck at home. I think you need to do it. So we're going with that. And as always, Roger says goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
And bye, YouTube.
And cut.